Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we will discuss about the next phylum, that is Mollusca. The Mollusca contains, or you can say includes, all the animals, those who are having the soft body. The term mollusk means the soft body, and that's why the name Mollusca has been given for this phylum, as it includes all the animals which are having the soft body. So I have written here the soft bodied animals, they are called mollusk. They are also known as celled animals. Cell animals you can observe, like in the case of Pila, in the case of Sepia, the body is well protected by a calcareous cell, SHELL, by a calcareous cell which is protective in function. So most of the, you can say, the mollusca or most of the members of this phylum, they are having a hard coating, a hard layer, that is called cell, and that cell is made up of calcium carbonate. That's why they are called celled animals. But the cell is absent in the case of octopus. You can't observe such type of structure, the hard layer around the octopus body. So octopus is the exceptional animal in which the cell is absent. Now, phylum Mollusca is the second largest phylum of the animal kingdom. The first, as I told you, the largest phylum is Arthropoda, and the second largest phylum is Mollusca. And Mollusca contains nearly 23% of all the animals which are found into the aquatic environment. Means in the aquatic life, like in the case of freshwater, either marine habitat, whatsoever the animals till the time they have been reported, 23% they are included from this phylum, and that is Mollusca. They may be terrestrial or may be aquatic. Most of the mollusca, they are found into the marine habitat, but some of the mollusca, some of the members, they are also found onto the land, and that's why they are terrestrial, inhabited also. What kind of the body organization is to be there? They have organ level of the body organization. As I told you, cellular level, tissue level, then organ level, organ system level. So organ level of the body organization is found into the members of mollusca. The body symmetry, when we talk about the body symmetry is bilateral. So I have written here bilaterally, they are bilaterally symmetrical. They are triploblastic. As you know, the triploblastic animals are having 3 germs layer, and these are ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm, and because of all these 3 layers, the body is triploblastic, or you can say the animal is triploblastic. They are coelomates. Coelomates, as you know, the coelom is found in all the members of mollusca. As you know, the coelom is the body cavity, lies, or you can say found in between the body wall and gut. So because of the presence of coelom, or you can say body cavity, the animals, they are said to be what? Coelomates. Then the body is covered by the calcareous cell. Whenever you will observe the structure of the Pila, either Sepia, their body is well protected by a hard layer which is made up of calcium carbonate, and this structure is called cell. So the body is very important point. The body is covered by calcareous cell. The body is unsegmented also, means the body don't have the segments like annelids or the animals which I have already taught in the previous phylums. Here the body is unsegmented, means the body don't have the partition, don't have the segments. The body has mainly three parts, and these are head, muscular foot and visceral hum. In some of the book it has been written head, foot and visceral hum. The head is the anterior part of the body. The head contains so many antennae, the projections, and this is sensory in nature. The muscular foot is the part which helps in the process of locomotion, especially muscular foot, and the visceral hum, it is the projection. The visceral hum, it contains so many visceral organs, or you can say internal organs. All the systems, the digestive system and other organs, mainly the internal organs, they are found into this part, into the visceral hum. You can see here through the diagram also. Suppose this is the head part, this one is the foot part, and this is the visceral hump. Why it is said to be the visceral? Because visceral means the internal, the soft organs, and all the internal organs, they are found into this part, into the visceral hum. Actually, visceral hum is protected by a layer, and that is called mantle, and this mantle, it forms the outer layer, and that is called cell, which is made up of calcium carbonate. So how many parts are there of a typical mollusk? The three parts are there: head containing the eyes and other sensory organs, the foot part, and this projected part, this is called visceral hum. The visceral hum, this part is again layered by a structure that is called mantle, and this mantle part, it forms an additional outer protective layer, and that is called cell, and that cell helps to protect the body from any prey, from any mechanical injury, and that cell is made up of calcium carbonate, or you can say the cell is calcareous in nature, but this cell is absent in the case of octopus, as I told you. The mouth contains receiving organs for feeding called radula. The head having a part, and that is called, this is called mouth, and the mouth, it opens into the buccal cavity. This is called buccal cavity. The buccal cavity has a very scraping organ is found, that is called a receiving organ. This is called radula. What do you mean the receiving organ? A receiving organ is the organ which looks just like the tongue, and that tongue at the margin, so many transverse teeth, they are present on this tongue-like structure. And this receiving organ, receiving means the, you can say the organ which are helpful to adhere with the prey, and this is the scraping organ. It captures the food, it scraps the food, and it helps to ingest the food, or you can say to take the food from the outside. So This is the respiring organ. It has so many minute teeth. You can see here. So this organ is muscular, tongue-like structure, and having these teeth, and it helps to take the food from outside. It scraps the food, captures the food from outside. And this receiving organ, simply you can say, is helpful in the process of feeding. Means whenever they take the food material from outside, the receiving organ is very, very important to ingest the food, to take the food from outside. And this receiving organ for feeding is also known as radula. So it is very, very important. You will underline in your notes that what is radula. The radula is the receiving organ for feeding present in all the mollusks. And the receiving organ is a very soft tongue-like structure having so many teeth. They are present on their margin. Now, the space between hum and mantle is called mantle cavity. As I told you, the body is divided into the how many parts? 3 parts. This is the head part, this one is the foot part, and this one is the visceral hum. And the visceral hum is again layered by a structure that is called mantle. So the portion between the mantle and visceral hum, this is called mantle cavity. This is called mantle cavity. Mantle cavity means the gap, the portion which lies in between the visceral hum and mantle, and this mantle cavity contains so many organs, and especially the gills. They are present in this mantle cavity, and the gills, they are helpful in the process of respiration. Some of the mollusks, they are having the lungs also, though you are terrestrial, but especially the mollusks, those who are found into the aquatic environment, either into the freshwater or marine habitat, they are having the gills for the process of respiration. They are dioecious. As you know, the dioecious, as per the sexes are to be there, the male and females, both they are separated to each other. They are not monoecious, they are dioecious, means they show the sexual dimorphism, male and female, both they are separated to each other, and that's why I have written here the term dioecious. They are oviparous, means they are egg-laying animals. They are not viviparous, they do not produce the young ones directly. They lay egg, and that's why they are said to be what? Oviparous. What kind of fertilization takes place in the mollusk? The fertilization is external, means they discharge the gametes exterior, or you can say the outside to the body. And when the male and female gametes fuse together, they form zygote, and zygote develops into the young ones. Fertilization doesn't take place inside the female's body. It takes place outside of the female body, and that's why the kind of fertilization is external, and the development is indirect. As you know, in the direct development, what happens? The female gives to the birth directly to the young ones, but here in this case, in the case of mollusca, like the members of arthropods, the larval stages comes, and because of the larval stages in their life cycle, the process will be indirect. Larva gets converted into the adult one, and because the larval stages is included, that's why the development will be indirect. And some of the animals I have already written here: Phyla, Sepia, octopus, these animals are included in this phylum, that is Mollusca. So that's all about the characteristics of the phylum Mollusca. Once again, let me to discuss about the important characteristics of this phylum. The first, you have to learn these are the special characteristics I am going to tell you. The second largest phylum of the animal kingdom. It's very, very important you have to learn for this phylum. The second, the body is differentiated into how many parts? 3 parts, and these are head, foot and visceral hump. Because these words, the visceral hump especially, out of these 3, you will listen in this case only the visceral hump. As you know, hump is the projection. In the camel also you can see the hump is to be there containing the fat, but the hump is present in this case in the animals of this phylum. So the body is divided into how many parts? 3 parts. These are once again head, foot and visceral hump. The visceral hump is lined, or you can say is protected by a layer, and that is called mantle. And that mantle again, it forms a calcareous cell made up of, why it is said to be calcareous? Because made up of calcium carbonate. So the presence of the cell, this is also a very, very important characteristic of this phylum, that the mollusk, or you can say the animals which are included into this phylum, they are having a hard calcareous cell outside to the body, and this calcareous cell helps to protect them from the predators, protect them from any mechanical injury. The calcareous cell, they are also said to be what? Exoskeleton. If anyone is asking that, what is exoskeleton? In the case of mollusca, you can tell them the exoskeleton is called cell. As I told you, in the case of arthropods, the exoskeleton is made up of chitin, but here the cell is made up of calcium carbonate. And in the members of mollusca, the receiving organ, that is called radula, is found. It is the feeding, it helps in the process of feeding, that is radula. And that receiving organ, why it is said to be the receiving organ? It helps to stick with the food, to scrape the food, and overall this structure radula is helpful to take the food from outside. The radula has a very soft structure, that is, it looks just like the tongue, but it has so many teeth lying on their periphery. And so these are the special features of this phylum Mollusca. Whenever you are studying the characteristics of all these phylums, you prepare the notes in such a way, definitely you will write so many points about their characteristics, but 3 to 4 points you have to make in such a way that these features are special for that particular phylum. So it will be easy for you to differentiate one phylum to the another one. So that's all for today. Tomorrow I will teach you the next phylum. Thanks everyone.